Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Cover to Cover. You're here with Mo,
Andrea,
and Morgan.
So today we want to talk about all the trending literary hashtags, the state of reading in America, and we have a fun author spotlight at the end of our show, so stay tuned for that. But first, guys, today is International Literacy Day.
Yeah. So today we are celebrating, of course, by talking about books and making some awesome recommendations.
That's right, and this year's theme is Literacy in a Digital World. In honor of the day, there is a celebration scheduled at UNESCO's headquarters in Paris. And this has an aim to explore the skills needed for people in our increasingly digital society and to explore effective literacy policies and programs around the world. Do you feel this theme is impactful?
I definitely do, right? We really need to open and broaden the conversation about the digital age and what effect that has on literature and literacy around the world. Because on one hand, it opens up a lot of avenues for sharing more information, but then there's the other side where it's like, if you don't have the tools to succeed with that format, then you're going to fail, just by definition, right?
Yeah. I love that they're talking about policies because from my background, my understanding, I studied economics in undergrad and grad school. People just think they can throw books at the problem, like, oh, people just need more education, but you need to have the right policies or the right incentives in place to get people to respond in the way you want them to respond, right?
So it's not just about the tools.
It's not just about the tools, it's about the incentives to get people to change their behavior. Yeah. Because here we are surrounded by books. Almost every community has a book, or has a library, or there's some other programs like Dolly Parton's program we talked about last week that mails books to certain communities and households who can't access libraries. So people have access to books for the most part, but still kids, adults are not reading. The right incentives have to be in place. It's just like weight loss, you know, like we know what makes people overweight. We know it's unhealthy. We know it leads to heart disease and diabetes and all sorts of bad outcomes, but people don't change.
Yeah.
Why? Well, they need the right incentives because at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do, eat Twinkies and hot dogs and Cheetos when they just need something else to help them.
Preach.
Yeah. And you know, I think I saw a statistic the other day, and I'm paraphrasing, but I'm pretty sure it said that over the last 10 years, the levels of illiteracy in the world have not changed by any drastic numbers. And so there is a really big need for us to set the right policies and to embrace the changing landscape of literature and the world. So hopefully we'll come up with some good solutions and put really effective policies in place.
Yeah. Many organizations like the World Bank, for example, put programs in place and test, does this work? Does this change the behavior? Does this help? So, for example, in India, there is a common problem of teachers just not showing up to teach, especially in schools that are run by the government, because they'll get their paycheck no matter what. So there was a study where they put an incentive in place. If a teacher shows up for a certain amount of time, then she'll get a bike or something like that to see if that would increase their rate of actually showing up to teach, and
Can we talk about implementing those incentives for our work environment?
Mo, if you come to work, I will buy you a bike, okay?
I'm going to clip this out and show it to her later. You can be sure of that.
Yeah. Lucky for you, someone recently gave my husband a bike, so I'll just give that to you because we don't use it.
We'll talk about this offline.
Yeah, and then I want to talk about mine. But I think that's really interesting to talk about, like, I mean, because I think a lot of people do focus on the tools, and then you're also talking about the incentives. But one of my fears, I guess, with the tools, I know we're in this digital age, but I mean, what if we're all off of the grid one day and we lose everything, all of our cameras are wiped, all of our computers are wiped, then what do we have but physical books? So I don't know.
It's a real fear.
I'm on board with, like, you know, going into this revolution that we're at and focusing on what we need to do to make this work. But then there's always that what if. And maybe I'm just a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, I don't think so, because science fiction authors everywhere are thinking just like you. So they're supporting your fear.
Conspiracy theorists like me.
It's perfect. Well, you guys, in the vein of digital literacy, this week there were a few trending bookish hashtags out there, right?
On September 6th, we celebrated National Read a Book Day, and people everywhere were sharing what they were reading and suggesting ways to get others to read. First Lady Melania Trump donated Dr. Seuss books to select schools in every state, and we all celebrated by reading a little extra that day.
Yes, we did.
Guess what, guys?
What?
I finally finished a book that I've been working on all summer long.
Me too.
Yeah? What book was it?
The second Outlander book. I'm tired of talking about it. It's done.
How
We're
many
moving
Outlander
on.
books are there?
There's like 8. It's never going to happen, but it's a great accomplishment. So I'm right there with you, girl. Feels good.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Was
and
yours
one's
the
yours.
green dress?
Evelyn
Yes,
Hugo.
The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Amazing.
We're so proud of you.
Yes, and it has such a plot twist.
Oh, good.
And I knew something was coming at the end, and then you're just like, oh, really? I don't want to give it away, though.
Okay, don't.
Like, there's 2 big plot twists in the book
Nice.
that will just blow your head off.
That's awesome.
I started like 4 more books, so I have a lot of books to
That's how
finish.
you celebrate.
Yeah. And I celebrated Mo this week with Read a Book Day. So I had an Amelia Bedelia book come in my Happy Meal because they also promote books. Thank you, McDonald's.
Wait, you bought a Happy Meal this week?
I love their Happy Meals.
Naturally.
All right, so I had Amelia Bedelia in my Happy Meal and was like, Mo, Read a Book Day, Amelia Bedelia.
So sweet. I do love Amelia Bedelia. All right, well, there was another trending hashtag from this week, which was hashtag Make Classic Novels Modern, in which you give an update to a classic book title to make it more relevant to today's climate.
All right, guys. So, for example, Twitter goers changed To Kill a Mockingbird to Kill a Mockingjay.
We saw The Great Gatsby become The Great Gatsby.
Naturally. And the picture of Dorian Gray transformed into the Snapchat of Dorian Gray.
And we love this idea. Do you guys have any good modernized titles of classics for us? Let us know in the comments if you can think of some good ones.
Okay, I came up with a couple. The Catcher in the Ryan Gosling.
Ooh.
We love him. We love him.
We do.
And Brave New World of Warcraft.
Oh,
From
that's
the
a
college
good one.
peeps out there.
All right. I came up with a couple. So Around the World in 80 Instagram pictures. Am I right?
Obviously.
Yeah, that's like every person
That's
on my
life.
feed. Yeah.
It's life.
They're like honeymooning in Tahiti, and then tomorrow I'm going to Greece. And I'm like, cool.
It's like, what job do you have?
Yeah, exactly. And the things they seried.
Yes.
So, that's
Yep.
also one.
Yep. She's narrating that situation.
Not that I got carried away with this at all, but I came up with The Blaming of the Brew, Number the Bars, Ivan Ghosted, Where the Stranger Things Are, The Facebook Thief, Charlotte's Web Series, 20,000 Leagues Under Par, because you're a millennial.
Obviously.
Farewell to Karma, and Draculata, I'm canceling my plans and watching Netflix.
So proud.
So,
that was
those are mine.
amazing.
Oh, and also a
Congratulations.
picture of Dorian Bay. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a really fun little activity, I thought.
All right, so I stole these, some that I saw.
I love it.
2017 instead of 1984.
Oh,
Okay.
that
Yeah.
tracks.
Okay.
That tracks.
A Midsummer Night's Meme.
That one.
That's a good one.
Not to get political, but No Pride, Just Prejudice.
Oh, shade.
Yep.
I like it.
And To Kill an Angry Bird.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Those
That's
are
a good one.
Let us know in the comments if you guys have some great ones too. And also, if you can believe it, there was one more fun trending bookish hashtag over the last couple of weeks. Did you see it?
Yes. I actually really love this one. It's ruin a book in one letter. So that hashtag is trending, and the purpose is to ruin a classic book, such as Old Man and the Sea, by changing it to Old Man and the Pea. Did you guys see any other good ones going around?
Yes, like every person I know on Facebook was digging this trend, and so it was everywhere. I came up with just one on the spot here, 50 Shades of Prey, which changes that entire storyline, you guys.
All right. All right.
I saw a lot of good ones, though.
I saw a lot of political ones, like The Bun Also Rises.
Oh.
Picture of someone's bum.
Interesting.
The one I liked was Lord of the Fries.
Yes.
That's a good one. Classic.
I want
That's
to go
good
to
for
there.
us because we love to eat. The Toad, giving shout out to Cormac
Oh, yeah.
McCarthy, The Road.
I like it.
And also James and the Giant Leech.
Nice.
Okay.
That really changes it.
That changes that into a totally different genre. It's like a monster book.
Well, yes. I used to have this fear of leeches.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well,
Rightfully.
it's very like Stranger Thingsy.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it too.
So I came up with a picture of Dorian Gray because he's crazy.
Yes.
It's just because he's crazy. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys. So one of our team members came up with some really good ones for, changing the book with one word.
Oh, cool.
So he came up with Portrait of Lady Gaga,
Nice.
Animal Farm Bill, and The Fault in Our Dancing with the Stars. So that's all credits to Joe.
I love
those
that.
are really good. So these are such fun hashtags.
Yeah, that's so great. It's such a fun week.
Yeah. Well, let us know in the comments what some of your favorite bookish hashtags are, and if you have any great contributions to these questions. But right now, we're going to take a quick break. But when we get back, we have a story on how much we're currently reading in America, plus a fun author spotlight video. So stay tuned.
Well, we know people on social media like to talk about reading, but what is the state of readers in our current time? I feel like we're always comparing how much we read now to how much we used to read.
Well, publishers are looking to blame the current administration for a decline in reading. They're blaming the circus of government for being a distraction from other endeavors. So, HuffPost and YouGov took a poll to find out. Turns out, of the readers polled, reading habits seem to be on par for last year. 41% responded that they are reading the same amount. What about you? Have you been reading the same amount from last year or less?
Wait, can you explain this? What's the problem here?
So publishers have reported lower sales over the last year, so through the election cycle in the current administration.
Okay.
And so they are basically blaming the government and the attention that we are giving to what's going on.
Just the craziness we've gone through.
Yes, exactly.
Year.
So they're blaming that very vocally. This is the reason they believe that their sales are down.
So people are watching too much CNN and Fox News.
Pretty much.
to read. That's what they're saying.
And they're interacting with like that sort of media instead of focusing on like what new books are coming out or whatever.
Okay.
But when the poll was taken, the numbers kind of reflected that almost half people who participated said that, they're still kind of reading the same amount. But like, what about you guys? What's your reading situation like?
I think I've been reading more because, media is all in our face more and more. We're talking about the digital revolution here. So I'm seeing more genres and more things out there, and it's wanting me to read more. I'm feeling like there's more access. And as we're talking about, digital media and all that, I think that would be more to blame than the administration, like things like Netflix and all that stuff. There's, screens are in our face more and more than they ever have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's just a funny correlation that they're making, but I can kind of see it. Last year's election, which is crazy, and it sucked a lot of people in, but for me personally, I know when to turn the TV off or turn my computer off. I don't even own a TV, so turn my computer off, stop looking at that kind of stuff on my phone or on my computer, and read a book. So it's more, I think I'm doing all right. It more has to do with what's going on in my life and not what's happening in politics. But
yeah, I definitely, over the last year, have started reading less, not by choice, by life factors, right?
Yeah.
I've had a lot of life changes over the last year, and then I'd like to say it doesn't have anything to do with the, situation in government, but I have been listening to more and more NPR to just stay up to date on all of the changes in policies and things that are happening.
Yeah. That's true.
So I'm not gonna go out on a limb and blame that completely, but definitely my reading has gone down from last year. So I really want to turn that around. So now that we've finished a book we've been working on, it's time to move forward, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Well, let us know in the comments if you're still reading and adding things to your TBR list, and if you think this is the reason why maybe you're not. But now we have some recommendations for you in case you need to add some things to your TBR. So check out this first video in our Author Spotlight series that we are now embarking on.
With a name that belongs in the Game of Thrones world, Barbara Kingsolver of House Appalachia, mother of Homestead, lover of culture, is an amazing writer who has been gracing bookshelves since 1988. She has written 14 books, raised 2 children, and has received numerous awards. She's taken us along the roads of Arizona, through the Appalachian Mountains, and down into the cenotes of Mexico. And I think Barbara Kingsolver is one of the greatest writers of our time, and this is why I have chosen her to be our inaugural author spotlight. All right, so if you've never heard of her, where should you start? The internet would probably recommend to you one of her most well-known works, which is the Poisonwood Bible, but let me take you off the beaten path for a moment here with my top 3 suggested reads, the sampler platter, if you will. Okay, so my number 3 pick is Animal Vegetable Miracle. If you're into nonfiction, journaling, cookbooks, or the homestead lifestyle, or even if you're like, what are all of those words? Then Animal Vegetable Miracle is probably for you. This book chronicles a year in the life of the Kingsolver family as they move out of the city to live off-grid for the very first time in their lives on a homestead adventure. Lots of tears, laughs, and life lessons along the way, not to mention lots of great recipes. So check that out. My number 2 pick is for the art historian, lover of adventure, seeker of sun, The Lacuna. The Lacuna chronicles a young man torn between 2 cultures, the America of his youth and the Mexico of his formative years, where he meets and works with the very mysterious Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo. History and public opinion are rivals in this coming-of-age tale. And for my number 1 pick, I have chosen one of my very favorite books, Prodigal Summer. This story is told by an interweaving narrative of 3 people living in southern Appalachia. And over the course of one summer, the characters in this story find themselves interconnected through the flora and fauna that's all around them. This story marks the importance of balance in life and in nature, and just how easily upset that balance can become. This is a beautiful book. I recommend it to everyone. And to quote Barbara Kingsolver herself, your dreams, what you hope for and all of that, it's not separate from your life. It grows right up out of it. So do yourself a favor and enrich your life by inviting one of these amazing novels in. And long live the Kingsolver.
We hope you enjoyed our author spotlight, and we will be flash sailing Prodigal Summer so you can get in on the love too. So for 19 minutes after this show, you can get your copy of Prodigal Summer for 99 cents. So check it out. And Mo obviously loves Barbara Kingsolver. What about you, Morgan? How are you feeling about Barbara Kingsolver? Are you familiar with her work?
A little bit. Mostly I've heard of the Poisonwood Bible. It was a pick for Oprah's book club, and I've heard many people reference it before. I have many friends who have been missionaries, so they reference it.
Yeah, that's a really popular one. I think I had it as an assigned reading in high school, which is probably like my gateway Barbara Kingsolver. So I've said enough about her. I love her. Give her a shot for sure.
Yeah, definitely let us know in the comments if you love Barbara Kingsolver and what you think about her work.
And don't forget to like and share this post for a free t-shirt if you have not already gotten one from us. When you send us a message, tell us your mailing address, your size, and your style. We have V-neck and crew neck.
And don't forget about that flash sale. We will share the link for that in the show comments to that awesome Barbara Kingsolver book.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm Mo.
I'm Andrea.
And I'm Morgan.
And we will be back on Monday, September 11th, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central Time. So until then, keep reading, writing, and being awesome. I know we will. Bye.